Chelsea are champions of the Conference League. Let's go up the Chelsea. London is blue. How's it going, everybody? It is now Wednesday night. I've come down from a few hours ago when I witnessed my first trophy as a Chelsea fan. Welcome back to the Always Bayern Chelsea show. I'm Jim, and I'm a diehard Chelsea fan right now in this moment because in the 3 years since I've become a fan, since I selected this team in London, it's been such a great ride. It's honestly been some of the best 3 years of my life. You know, I'm 27 years old, and I've always been a diehard sports fan of teams in Milwaukee and Wisconsin. But I tell you what, these 3 years with Chelsea have been incredible thus far. And the hardships of 12th place to 6th place to 4th have led me to this moment of getting Champions League a few days ago in the Premier League and now to winning the first trophy under the new Clear Lake Capital Todd Bailey ownership. The Conference League is ours. It's back in the hands of a team that deserves it, and that's Chelsea, who has now won all 4 European trophies that you can win. And they're the only team to ever do it. So let's rejoice. Let's enjoy this because we deserve it, honestly. Chelsea fans really deserve it at this point. What an amazing, again, ride it has been. Just having so much fun. So much fun. Man. I'm kind of at a loss for words even because it has just been unreal to learn to love this team. You know, I never thought I would be a super fan of the sport of football, soccer, or however you want to say it, you know. And the fact that I've now been to Stamford Bridge, witnessed Chelsea play in person last year, I'm still just following along with podcasts and people on Twitter and the Chelsea community, watching at the Highbury pub here in Milwaukee with the Milwaukee Blues, you know. Chelsea in America, got my Chelsea in America scarf here that I won on a raffle. So the community's awesome. It's thriving. Chelsea are thriving. Chelsea Football Club is back on top of Europe. I know it's the third tier, but still, it's a European trophy. And let's get into it because that match was a tale of two halves. Just incredible. Incredible stuff. So if we take this to the beginning, you know, I'm actually going to take it back because we talked about how I predicted Chelsea to finish 4th. They finished 4th. And Danny and I both predicted at the beginning of the year, and I'm sure we'll talk about this in a pod here soon, reviewing our predictions for the season in total for Chelsea and Bayern. But we both predicted Chelsea would end up winning the Conference League title. So we were both right there. So now that makes me 2 for 2 with my huge Chelsea season predictions. And it puts a bow on the season in a way that Enzo Maresca maybe expected and wanted. You know, I think everybody could say they thought Chelsea would win the Conference League, but now he's done it, and he's a man that only wins trophies. You know, he takes Leicester City to the Premier League last year, gets a trophy there, and now he does it with Chelsea. So big up to the boss, Enzo Maresca, for that. But speaking of Enzo Maresca, let's talk about the lineup that he chose for this match against Real Betis, who aren't a slouch of a team. You know, they finished 6th in La Liga this year, clinching Europa League, and they obviously made it to the Conference League final game, beating Fiorentina, who have had a solid year in their own right in Serie A. So Maresca, I think, combined some pretty strong and talented players with others that he may have felt deserved more time as they got time throughout the Conference League. Philip Jorgensen being one of those. He had said a few days prior that he was going to start between the sticks for Chelsea ahead of Robert Sanchez. I was fine with that. I think most people were fine with that, seeing as neither of them have been insanely outstanding as it is, and Sanchez has been the Premier League goalkeeper as it is. Jorgensen ends up having, you know, a pretty pedestrian day for the most part, but no issue with him there. The back line, I think, is where things changed a little bit for Maresca. He goes with Cucurella at left back. Don't really have many options there. Badiashile then and Chalaba, the two center backs, with Malo Gusto on the right, inverting into the midfield for Chelsea. And I really had no problem with the selections here. Badiashile and Chalaba have played admirably and played a lot. Chalaba, since coming over from Crystal Palace, has really been one of the main center backs. And besides the last couple Premier League matches where Tosin filled in because he's so strong with aerial duels, Chalaba had kind of been your guy with Colwill that we had seen many a time. So I had no issue there. Badiashile especially played a lot in the UECL, so I was confident he was going to be able to play against Real Betis. And I think those two ended up having a pretty strong day. Gusto was the other guy on that back line that when this lineup came out, a lot of people said, where's Reece James? Gusto hasn't been the greatest. We don't know how we feel about that decision. And unfortunately, everybody was right in thinking that. You know, I was telling Danny in our preview, I didn't think Reece James was going to play, at least start this match. We have not seen him play two matches back-to-back 90 minutes when they're within a few days of each other. And, you know, Danny keeps talking about, oh, you're going to need to do that next year for Champions League. And that's fine. You know, I agree. But right now this year, we haven't had to do that. And so Reece, still coming back from injury at this point, needs to be protected. And Maresca said it after the game that he still is protecting Reece. And I completely understand why he's doing that. We're talking about a guy that is so important to this Chelsea structure, academy, leadership role, and team. He's got all the talent in the world and ability to be one of the best right backs in the world, but he's not going to be that when he's not healthy. So you need to be able to manage that. So I ultimately agreed with the decision to not start Reece James. That being said, it unfortunately was maybe the wrong choice because Malo Gusto started out and played terribly, and I'll get to that in a minute. To round out the lineup, then we have Enzo and Caicedo in midfield as they have been, Madueke left wing, Palmer in the cam role, Pedro Neto on the right wing, with Nico Jackson back in action up top, leading the way. We didn't know for sure if he was going to start. It seemed like he probably was going to, but you know, he had been suspended from the Premier League for getting a super important red card against Newcastle, and so the thought was maybe Maresca punishes him further and sits him in this final to teach him a lesson. He didn't end up doing that, and I think it was the right call. He's a unique center forward that can do a lot of things that other players on this team can't do. Your Nkunku's, your Tyreek George's, Neto if he plays up top. So it was the right call in my opinion ultimately. So there's the squad, and we roll into this first half against Real Betis completely asleep at the wheel. I mean, I understand this was a massive, massive final for Real Betis, being that they have not ever lifted a European trophy to my knowledge, and it was massive for their fans. They probably had more fans in Wrocław, Poland, but Chelsea started the game and didn't look like they had much interest in the match, which quite frankly was nuts. I mean, they generally tend to come out playing this passive, keep possession, defensive style, but man, I tell you what, I was very disappointed with the lack of focus and clarity with this Chelsea team to start the match. And you got guys making mistake on the back line, Gusto giving the ball away, getting dusted on that right-hand side, and nobody in attack doing anything. So I was worried because I didn't know what Maresca's telling the guys. I mean, can he not motivate them? Are the captains not stepping up? You know, you don't have Reece on the pitch. It's just Enzo as the captain out there, and they look a little disinterested. And it all leads to a goal within the first 10 minutes. I believe the 9th minute, Real Betis get a goal where Gusto gives the ball away, and to his credit, Isco for Betis, who on the day was one of the best players on the pitch, gets the ball in space, delivers a perfect kind of mini cutback to the left to his teammate, Azaluli, who scores a great goal. Jorgensen can do nothing about it. Left-footed shot right across the net, and they're flying up 1-0. So immediately you're thinking, oh boy, thank God we got Champions League in the Premier League, because now it's like if we wouldn't have, we really would have been concerned. But Chelsea just could not find their way into this match in the first half. Lifeless, tired again. It just seemed like disinterest at times, which to me would be crazy. We're talking about a European final where it seemed like this was the case. And I think Reece even said that after the match, where he thought they came out pretty flat. So not much to talk about with the rest of the first half. I think we had maybe 2, 3, 4 shots, even in general. I'm not talking on goal, just in general in that first half. So, I'm not going to waste too much time talking about it, because whatever happened at halftime, whatever flip was switched for Chelsea, they came out looking like a brand new team. And the one change that they were always going to make right at the 45-minute mark, Reece James coming on for Malo Gusto. It had to happen. It was bound to happen. He's your captain. He's one of your best players. To finish the year, he was a top 3 player on the team. So take off the guy who looked like absolute crap in Malo Gusto, put on your captain, and hope for the best. Not to mention, according to Maresca after the match, Reece told him at halftime, "Don't worry, boss. We're going to win this match." What a prediction by Reece. I love that confidence from a captain, from a Chelsea Cobham Academy graduate. It's a beautiful thing to see, and Reece really could not have predicted it better. Chelsea look like they're controlling the match better, creating more opportunities, and that's when Cole Palmer also decided that, wait a second, I'm actually the best player on this pitch right now. Isco had his moment. He's getting old now. I'm the new young cat coming in here, and I'm going to take over. And they have a nice little possession play where Palmer ends up with the ball in the right half space. Yep, I said it, the right half space, because that's his better side, Enzo. Lofts a beautifully curled left-footed shot over the edge of the defending line of Real Betis and finds Enzo Fernandez noggin, and he heads it right past the keeper, who probably didn't make the best effort, let's be honest, but it's a first goal for Chelsea in the final, ties it up at 1. We're going nuts. I mean, I'm watching at home, half working, half watching. Brilliant ball by Cole, though, to find Enzo. And these are the types of potential plays that you can have in a system with these guys that make beautiful passes, can find each other, and can get these strong connections. Enzo's able to slip past those last couple defenders and find the space, and that's the type of box-crashing technique that we've seen from Enzo Fernandez this year. And what a beautiful way for the vice-captain of Chelsea to get that goal and get them back in the match. And this is also 4 minutes after Levi Colwill and Jadon Sancho come on for Benoit Badiashile and Pedro Neto. So you're really even doubling down on bringing on your strong, rock-solid star players. And that's what I loved about it, too, because these are the guys that step up in the big moments, especially to end the year. And that's exactly what happened there. Cole Palmer stepping up, and Enzo as well. I mean, let's not pretend like Enzo has not accumulated his best ever season, goal and assist-wise. Absolutely special from those two right there. So now we're kind of seeing the game change at this point, because Chelsea are taking control. And it looked like Real Betis were either getting tired or just struggling to keep up with the talent that Chelsea were displaying on the pitch. So 5 minutes following that first goal from Chelsea, they do it again. And Palmer does it again. Real Betis inexplicably leave him one-on-one deep on that right-hand side. He turns around that defender, and with his right weak foot delivers a sublime little curled ball to Nico Jackson, who originally we thought headed it in for a goal for a second. Turns out he kind of chested it in a little bit with his shoulder maybe. Almost looked like it was a handball with his arm, but ends up being clean. Crowd goes nuts. Nico goes nuts. It's insane at this point. You know, we're going from, oh shit, Chelsea aren't going to win this European final to, let's freaking go. We're on top 2-1 and feeling on top of the world as Chelsea fans. I mean, just screaming how blue London really is. And that was awesome to me, especially to see Nico get back in the goal column. There's been so much talk about him after that red card. Is Chelsea going to consider selling him? You know, who knows? It sounds like they might bring in Delap. Are they also going to bring in Hugo Ekitike? What does that mean for Jackson? You know, we'll get to all that, but if it's his last match, I'm glad he scored. If it's not, I hope it just brings him confidence moving into the Club World Cup and to next season, because we will need our strikers to score goals. And if that is Nico, we will need him. And I have faith in Nico. I've always loved Nico. He has his faults. He shows a lot of stupid moments, as we saw literally moments after his goal, where he has a runaway and just has a heavy touch and kicks it right to the goalie. But I still think he's got a lot of potential, and I'd hate to give up on a guy so soon, especially now that he's led us to a top 4 finish in the Premier League and a Conference League European final. So we'll see what happens there, but so happy for him to bag that goal. And at this point, Chelsea, they don't even really get that defensive. You know, they end up making another sub with KDH coming in the 80th minute for Nico Jackson right after he had that miss. You know, kind of got hurt. Who knows if he was actually hurt or just a little embarrassed. But yeah, KDH comes in there, and then Chelsea aren't slowing down. There's so much space at this time because Real Betis are trying to get that second goal to tie it up. So they find a bunch of space, and the ball ends up deep into the box for Jadon Sancho on the left wing, and he buries it. You know, really nice goal on that left wing. Coming off as a sub, cold, but does what he's done at times this year, which is find the back of the net. And talk about a guy that, again, I feel happy for, whether he's on the team next year or not. I'm happy that he got a chance to be loaned out to a club that isn't shit. You know, he's not on Man United right now. And he gets to win a trophy with Chelsea because that was a nice goal, and definitely excited for him. So we'll see. $25 million isn't that much. As a backup option, is he pretty solid? I think so. You know, a ball control, possession-based player. And if you can get somebody else on that left wing that's really exciting, Mudryk, then we'll see. But, yeah, you know, I'm not really opposed to either way, but awesome goal for him. And then 91st minute, Chelsea aren't done yet. No, they were not done yet. Enzo gets an assist, finds his running mate in the midfield. Moises, dyed blonde hair with the black mask, Caicedo, fires one, little deflection, but into the back of the net. Brilliant goal from him. A guy that deserves it the most on this team. Player of the season for Chelsea Football Club. It's 4-1, and Chelsea win a European trophy. Man. And saying those words, it feels so good. It feels so good. They dominate the second half. So happy for the boys. So happy for Enzo Maresca to come up with a plan. And oh boy, do we have an Estevao goal here for Palmeiras? I'm watching on my phone right now. A little bit of a watch along. Is this an all-time day for Chelsea? You're seeing this live right now, folks. I believe Estevao just got a goal for Palmeiras. Looks like he could have been a tough out. Oh, what a first touch. Gets in there. Oh, that's just class. That is absolute class from the future right winger of Chelsea. Absolute class. I mean, I could not be more excited for this guy to join our club. Are you kidding me, Esteval? On the same day that Chelsea win a trophy, you score a goal for Palmeiras? Oh my goodness. I mean, this kid is going to be so special. Oh, the embarrassment of riches that we have right now. It's something that is going to be crazy. Oh, and there's people saying Noni's finished in the chat. Oh, they're checking the goal, actually. So he could have been potentially offside. So we'll see what happens here. But nonetheless, incredible goal for Esteval. But back to this Chelsea team. Man, so much fun. That second half, that half hour, where they just absolutely dominate. You know? They absolutely dominate. And looked like I had some sound there coming out of something. But, oh, this Chelsea team, so much fun. So much fun. And the Esteval goal did stand. So, clearly, a lot of things to look forward to if you're a Chelsea fan. We're winning titles. We're qualifying for Champions Leagues. And, man, I just can't stop smiling because things are so good for us right now. So good for the Blues. Oh, my gosh. It's simply unreal. I'm sorry I've been flustered the last 2 minutes, but I'm a happy man. I'm so happy to be part of the Always Bayern Chelsea crew right now, and things are looking so good for Bayern and Chelsea. You know, we got Liam Delap news. Sounds like it's likely he's going to come to Chelsea. I love seeing that. We got celebrations galore for this Chelsea team. All the photos, videos, interviews after the match were freaking unreal. We got Misha Mudryk, my star boy, in Poland watching. I just saw about a half hour ago he got his medal. He's partying with the team. Photo with Enzo Fernandez holding their medals up the Chelsea. I mean, I don't want to get distracted again as I'm looking at some Ukrainian colors, but if there's one wish I would have for next year, it would be for Misha Mudryk to be back. I don't want to get ahead of myself. We'll talk about it in a future pod with Danny as well. I'm happy. I'm so happy. This team just brings me joy, and it's been, again, such an amazing ride the last 3 years as a Chelsea fan. I couldn't be happier. They were the team I picked. I know, Big Six. It's not this crazy thing that I picked them. But at the same time, they were dealing with new owners and the struggles that came with that, being scrutinized from their former owner, a Russian oligarch, in Roman Abramovich. So I just butchered that name, but it's not like I just joined this massive bandwagon like a Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Reds are winning titles. Not that Arsenal would ever win a title. So I feel proud to have been following this team, and I can't wait to see Chelsea do bigger and better things as the time goes on. So now we look forward to the transfer window, bringing in some key players. Danny and I will discuss that coming forward here. We look forward to the Club World Cup. We'll discuss that. We'll have boots on the ground in Cincinnati at a Bayern match. So follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe, share, keep watching our videos. You know, this is a video episode if you are watching, listening on a podcast. You know, follow us over on TikTok. I'm doing great things over there on TikTok. Comment on the videos. Give us a follow on Twitter, you know, X, whatever they're calling it these days. But yeah, it's so many great things. And one more thing I do have to add, and, you know, sorry to Danny for this. You know, he had mentioned he fixed the Chelsea Gnome on Sunday at halftime against Forest, and that was the reason Chelsea came back and won. Well, the Gnome delivered this title for Chelsea, And I wanted to show him in this video because a couple people were wondering about the gnome, and so I figured, I'll grab him. Well, unfortunately for the Chelsea gnome, my hands were a little slick. And let's just say he got knocked over once again. And this time, not both feet came off, but only one lone foot and shoe came off. So here's the gnome. Danny's going to have to super glue him again because unfortunately that foot did come off there. But the gnome has been a great good luck charm. So we'll get him fixed up once again, I'm sure. But Danny, that'll be the first time you're seeing this, if you're watching this while you're editing. But the gnome just has a tough life. What can I say? So, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. This Chelsea season has been really quite incredible, and I'm so grateful to be part of this space. So, London is blue, up the Chelsea, and everybody have a great freaking summer.
Hello, Chelsea fans. Hello, Jim. Just wanted to come in here quickly, right from the photo studio, and give a brief reaction to include in this video here. Yes, Chelsea are Conference League champions. Congratulations, Chelsea. Congratulations, Chelsea fans. Congratulations, Jim. Yeah, sorry I couldn't have been with you yesterday to record. I was down in Chicago at a concert, but here we are. Just wanted to give a few quick thoughts at the end of this video. Jim, you did a great job of breaking down the match and breaking down your relationship to this team and the sport, and it's just awesome to hear. I love listening to your insights into your story, but yeah. Just congratulations to this whole Chelsea team, Enzo Maresca. You guys deserve the Conference League trophy, no doubt. Horrible first half, but a very, very good second half, and you guys were the better team in this one and throughout the tournament. So again, congratulations to Chelsea. Thanks for making it fun at the end. It was a pretty boring, dismal first half as discussed. But the one thing I wanted to add in here and mention, and it was so important that I felt like I had to jump in here, was Reece James, the difference maker in this match, no doubt. You look at how they played in the first half with Gusto versus how they played in the second half with Reece James. And what I noticed was the clear difference in this one. James actually was able to receive the ball deeper from the back line, kind of to start possession and carry the ball all the way, progress the ball at least all the way to the attacking zones of the pitch and create an attacking threat as well as obviously being sound defensively, which Gusto wasn't able to do in this one. So bringing in James was the key to this match for me. He commands so much more attention from the defense. He allows really Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez to be unlocked when Reece James is out there. Cole and Enzo can kind of play in those half spaces that they love to play in because James is so good on the ball and requires so much attention from the defense. So that was really the key to this match, and you saw it. And Cole and Enzo had an incredible second half once James was out there progressing the ball and just leading this team. He is their captain, and for good reason. He's the man, in my opinion. He's the most important player on this team, and this match was such a perfect example of that. So shout out to Reece James. Really shout out to all the players because again, they deserve it. But I just wanted to jump in here and give that little tactical breakdown of what I saw from Reece James there on the right hand side, just completely shifting the course of this match. So soak it in. Talk your shit, do everything you got to do, Chelsea, because you guys deserve this one. And before I sign out here, just wanted to mention that the transfer of Jonathan Tah, center back from Bayer Leverkusen to Bayern Munich, is officially official. Finally. So Bayern Munich has signed another center back, Jonathan Tah, very solid player. I'm excited to see how he um, um, progresses and grows under Vincent Kompany, a world-class center back in his day. So that's going to be it from me, and I'll sign us off here with an up the Chelsea. Yeah, for me, I'm giving you an up the Chelsea and a Mia San Mia. See you next time.